how do you think the economy is going to emerge over the next 12 months from this period of great difficulty? And how much of the change that we've seen start to happen is going to be persistent?
Well, my opinion on that is no better than anybody else's. But I think it's quite likely that a year from now, the worst of that will be very, very thoroughly behind us. It's amazing. I watched the polio get totally killed by the vaccinations. And I think they'll spread these vaccines over the world so fast it'll make your head swim. So I think this horrible COVID thing is very likely to shrink to insignificance in the course of the next year.
And now, what about the transformation to retail? So you said department stores are gone, but there seems to be at work a quite massive transformation of retail. Are we going to go back to Old Town Pasadena, for example, or is the shift to online retail more permanent?
I don't think retailing is going to go away. After all, it's been around for thousands of years. But certainly it's been a very difficult place to make money because of what the internet has done. I recently had a friend send me a blue blazer made in China, bought on the Chinese internet, and it cost $42 delivered. And it may not have been a perfect blazer, but it was an amazing blazer for $42. The person who created that blazer gave some little factory an order for 100,000 at once. And those had been pre-sold using the internet. And so it's the most extreme kind of kill all the competitors type of selling I've ever seen. Of course, retailing hasn't coped with something like that. How good is it for Brooks Brothers when somebody can deliver a thing to the internet from China for $42? It didn't look like that bad a blazer to me either. It's amazing. Retailing has gotten very tough. And I think this online stuff is here to stay, and we'll get more and more efficient.
So that could be actually good for the consumer, but more difficult for certain sets of investors, in particular, sort of commercial real estate.
Of course, these changes are always bad for some investors and good for others. But when they're bad, they're very bad. I don't think we've seen the full brunt of the changes that are coming in terms of this online shopping.
Well, but there's also...
I'm a director of Costco. And in the last reporting period, their online sales were up 86% over the same quarter last year. Now, that is a significant development. And is it good for other retailers? No, it's good for Costco, but it isn't good for them.
But how much of their sort of brick and mortar stores how much of this is people who would have shopped at Costco in the departments, in the stores?
Brick and mortar stores are already doing well, but their brick and mortar stores have been enormously destructive because of their low prices and efficiency to other retailers. And now they're doing all this internet thing. The last thing I would want to do in retail is compete with Costco.
So we've talked a bit about retail, and the reorganization of the American labor force is also going to, you think that is going to be a more transitory phenomenon, that once we get vaccinated, the jobs are going to return? Or are we likely to see a slow return of employment in the same way that we did after 2001, 2002?
I remember that I did not make my fortune, such as it is, by predicting macroeconomic changes better than other people. What Buffett and I did was we bought things that were promising, and then sometimes we had a tailwind from the economy and sometimes we had a headwind. And either way, we just kept swimming. That's our system. And after all, that's the system Caltech has too. Caltech just gets up in the morning and keeps swimming, and pretty soon they're eminent. Caltech's not trying to play the game of getting big advantage out of the booms and busts. We're just like Caltech.